Hey guys, what's going on? Third Street Reactions here. We're back. I'm Shane.
Zach.
We're back with Star Wars Rebels, Season 1, Episode 12. Guys, last time, the crew of the Ghost, Zachary, we met a classic OT character.
Yeah, Lando. Popped in.
You know, George, for the time, was kind of, I don't say brave for putting Lando in, but it was interesting, that choice to make Lando so important, and also make him a swindler. But, you know, obviously Lando was redeemed, but I think it might have been safer to make him like the super agreeable yes man.
Well, what's nice is that, okay, who's normally who was the cool character of the trilogy? It was Han.
Yeah, definitely Han, yeah.
And who's Han? He's a fucking smuggling, dirty bastard.
Yeah.
And so you make the other cool guy.
Yeah.
I mean, as opposed to, like, you know, let's say Boba Fett, who they didn't anticipate, I don't think, blowing up like
they definitely didn't. No.
But
it's the toys that did that.
Yeah, but Lando was the other cool guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, he's cool to me.
Yeah, I like him.
But like his setup on Bespin and everything when you first are introduced to him, and he's just got like this whole like operation going on. Like, it's not nearly like he's not the rebel that Han is.
No, and when you take the whole saga into consideration, like, yeah, I'm sure he's under a lot of pressure to do what he did. He probably didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Vader comes and takes everything and forces you to do something.
Yeah.
I imagine it'd be hard to deny him. Mm-hmm. And then he was a great, I don't know if he was a general, but he was a great asset in episode 6 too.
Yeah,
you know, and he was actually amazing in episode 9. I remember seeing him at a convention and thinking, that guy, he's like a dead man walking. Like, in terms of, you just like, and then when the lights come on, he performs. He performs. He's charismatic. He's clear. Mm-hmm. It's just better than I am at all times. You know.
Yeah, he's probably just, he has to do that so often.
Yeah.
It just zaps you.
Yeah. Anyways, in the end, after we kind of broke from Lando, it seems like we were kind of getting gypped a little bit. But Chopper did steal some fuel cells, but
yeah,
Lando.
They talked to the pupper pigs. Of course, I know they took them.
Yeah.
He's kind of like, it's in a way, it's either he did know.
Yeah.
And it's part of his charm, or he didn't know, and it's part of his charm.
Well, also, I imagine when you do that, you have to make the people that you push a lot. You have to give them something.
Yeah.
And you make them think that it's their thing. Like, wow, let them think they stole it.
Yeah.
Let them have that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, or he didn't know, and he was just saving face to. Was it the pig he was talking?
Yeah. Pig, so.
Guys, before we jump into this, if you want to support us, check us out on Patreon to see 4 weeks early access for this show. And we also have full-length uncut reactions. Let's jump in.
All right, full length. What's up? We are starting Star Wars Rebels, Season 1, Episode 12. In 3, 2, 1.
The thing, he's blocking lasers already.
Stay in the moment. This moment.
Also, like the Rebels, they have kind of unique sounds for lightsabers when they turn on. Yeah. It's like a motor.
I don't like how thin his lightsaber appears. I know it's...
Yeah. They're kind of going with like that McCory had him pretty thin.
Yeah.
I think the prequel trilogy had the perfect looking saber and a very good looking effect too.
Saw, you had a vision?
I saw Gall Travis. Kanan, he knew my parents.
Gall Travis.
Gall.
It's going to.
But it might. Ow! What are you doing?
Helping you to hone your Jedi powers.
That was helping you to hone your Jedi powers.
Maybe if we keep trying. Ezra, hurry! He's on!
This is barren field. All the time. It's just like...
Insurgents terrorizing our world will soon be brought to justice. I have assured you.
Inside the old Republic Senate building.
Oh, Senate building.
Anything in my life. Vision?
A lot of old trilogy kind of music. Mine's episode 4, really. You know the 3 most important people in Anakin's life, what they said to him before he turned into Darth Vader? 3 of them. Ahsoka, Padme, I'm sorry. Hold on, I'll tell you a little bit.
That's the gate.
I've been promoted. Got class 3 clearance now.
Remember he's trying to find his sister?
Oh no, my vision!
Did you see his vision from above?
He did.
Time to explain.
I know, but like that time, how would he know Vince's vision?
This way. We were tracking an insurgent.
Wouldn't you have looked like behind those boxes?
Yeah.
I'm sure he must have been able to see him, I guess. Oh,
The Imperials will have numbers.
We'll have surprise.
What gives you that idea?
I'm being optimistic.
Zeb didn't sound as deep when he said that.
Yeah.
They want us to. It's a trap.
So maybe we don't.
It's a trap!
Yeah.
You don't even know for sure your precious senator is in there.
Yes, we do. I saw it.
If we can get up
Can
there.
you imagine her walking around in those jump pants in real life? That jumpsuit?
I know a way in.
You talking about Hera?
Yeah.
Hey, I
So, I don't know. People wear ridiculous clothes all the time now, man.
I mean, like, I'm saying it's a compliment.
Oh, you mean
She
like
should be
in terms
double
of-
cheeked up.
In
Yeah.
terms of the fucking actress that plays her too.
Yeah. They're like the Latinas of the Star Wars universe.
Shove him down the hole.
Shoulder checked on, yeah.
Literally murdered that thing.
I know. Look how excited he is.
Thank you. I was talking to Ezra.
Wait, you know what I smell like?
Can we focus, please?
Makes me think of Ninja Turtles in the Star Wars universe.
Nope, it's only 9th Street.
Yeah. Get it?
Get it?
Okay.
What do you think?
Better safe than sorry.
You're claustrophobic.
Never even looked under the guy.
My sensors indicate
You want a fist in the mouth?
from the ship. Better investigate.
I really love the idea of these Sentinel droids.
Mm-hmm.
We obviously see him a couple times in Clone Wars here, see him in The Mandalorian.
Senator Travis, we're friends.
Welcome. I was beginning to think no one on Lothal got my message.
Think he's real? You probably would know.
I don't remember. That's a lot of people.
Sure is.
A firing squad. You'd better do as he says.
Don't worry, Senator. Our friends will be along.
I don't know.
Was really hoping that.
There's something cool about her outfit.
About the Mandalorian chick?
Yeah.
And that's not the ride we're looking for.
It's alright. I missed the jetpack.
Oh, she hasn't gone through that. Yeah, there's a. That's like a rite of passage.
Last minute.
Yeah.
I'm this close to capture before.
Zeb needs to pick his ass up.
Yeah. I just wonder, is Travis bait
That's
for rebel cells?
what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
On to the next one.
Holy shit.
I just think about just the lifelessness, how he said that. Like, remember the B-1 battle droids, like drilling a hole into the ship so the clone troopers got sucked out? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
So it's like-
they're just enjoying their job.
Yeah. Woo! I'm coming out there. No.
Come on.
Like a video game, you gotta. Dude, that would hurt like hell if you're an old man.
How are we getting past this thing?
You could try to cut its power.
Take your saber out.
Watch our backs, will ya?
Proof's about to be in the pudding.
But she's obviously onto him.
Yeah.
We're not going anywhere. Put your saber down, boy. Now!
What if we just ignited that shit?
What? No!
What happened to the senator?
He was working for the Empire. Is there anybody on our side?
So guess he stays here.
We were gonna stop the fan to get through.
Just throw him into the fan.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
1, 2.
Yeah. You got perfect choke point though with those pipes.
Yeah.
You watch.
The Cal Kestis.
Yeah.
That's still moving. A pretty good clip randomly. Shitty little guy.
Should chop his leg off or something. You know what I mean? Just chop one leg off.
Take something.
Yeah. Whoa, 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 whoa.
I thought that's what I was doing.
Your emotions clouded the vision. It takes
Training and discipline?
to see things clearly.
Yeah, it wasn't whole vision, you know?
Almost impossible to interpret.
Hope that things can get better. And they will.
Some pretty older woman telling you this shit all the time when you're a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, of course you're gonna believe in that.
I know.
Buy right into the hype.
I know. Full length, stay back at the YouTube channel for the discussion. Guys, that was a reaction. I've obviously reacted to the before, but it's been a while. It actually surprised me a couple times. Zach, what'd you think, man?
It was a good episode. It was entertaining. Of course, you having been out of this for as long as you have been, and
5, 6 years.
Just having watched this shit, a lot of similar material over the years. I mean, at some point, it was pretty easy to see that.
Yeah.
Especially with the way Hera was acting.
Yeah, because Hera picked up on it.
Yeah.
And then I think we immediately picked up on it after that.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, fucking decoy, Travis.
But it's cool though to know that the Empire is launching these intelligence operations to draw in rebel activists, you might say, rebel.
Well, imagine like
rebels in general.
Imagine just like a branch of the ISB doing this for this cell.
Well, I was thinking of like Deidre.
Yeah.
And everything from Andor.
Yeah.
Those intelligence operations and what they're doing.
Yeah.
I just wonder what's going on with her and old Cyril.
Oh, by the time the show rolls around?
On Andor in season 2.
I have no idea. The trailer hasn't really...
You see a little bit of them, but not substantial. Cyril's wearing nicer clothes, and
I do not know what to expect.
I'm just saying. Yeah. I wonder what they're doing.
I'm wondering if they'll turn good, or if they do, maybe it'll happen later. Or
I don't know. We kind of need a good villain.
I know, but I like the Deidre, whose character was about digging up things, even things that her peers didn't want her to dig up.
Yeah, but they're digging them up to their detriment in terms of just her.
But if she digs up, but if she digs up the fact that, like, I mean, I'm sure she doesn't know the Empire enslaved a ton of Wookiees to build a super, like a big battleship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's things that most of the galaxy doesn't know about. Like, most of the Empire doesn't know about the Death Star.
Mm-hmm. I know.
So, that
was Tarkin's pet project.
Yeah, and like when Alderaan was destroyed, like 99% of Imperials do think it was an asteroid or something. Like, there's like a rumor.
Vegeta.
Yeah, there's like a rumor, but like, no, I mean, we're fighting the good fight. We wouldn't do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
either way, it's cool to see those operations going on.
Yeah.
Callus, he's a fucking ham, but
yeah,
he's the face on the problem right now.
So far, yeah.
Pursuit, other than the Grand Inquisitor, obviously.
Yeah, so Ezra had a vision. I mean, we saw bits and pieces of it, but when he got the whole vision, the whole picture, he was able to... obviously he's able to see that Gao... What's his name? Gao Travis?
Travis, yeah.
Yeah. That he's a bad dude. And, like, Anakin got a vision. He got part of a vision. Well,
that's what I was thinking, too, is that Anakin had visions that obviously made him very concerned.
Yeah.
For his loved ones.
Yeah.
Whatnot, that drew him even farther into the dark side.
I mean, the Shmi one, he didn't cause that. I mean, the Shmi one happening...
No, I mean his reaction to it.
No, yeah, for sure. But I was thinking, like, his overreaction to Padme dying, he was probably trying to prevent her dying just like his mother. Yeah. But his mother was going to happen, and he couldn't have prevented it.
Yeah, but the idea is that there's a chance that he could.
Yeah.
That's why he was
hell-bent
on doing it.
Padme, he's the very one that caused it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Other than Luke having the vision about Leia and Han.
Yeah.
But in theory, he helped by going there.
Yeah, he did help, and Yoda, help them you could.
Yeah.
I mean, he did help them. It's just like he got lucky. Leia was force sensitive, sensed him.
Yeah.
And that's really it.
His ass would have been done.
He wouldn't have fucking cooked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they wouldn't have had anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I thought it was fun too. But yeah, right now this rebel cell seems to be kind of on their own. So that's kind of probably what they're thinking, and they want to see, are there other people fighting? You know what is interesting though, is first of all, Ezra's parents, you speculate that they're dead. At this point, I mean, I know the answer. That's one thing I do remember. At this point in the story, I just wasn't sure. I went back and forth, and you know that guy knew his parents. It just makes it dirtier. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and I just the fact that he's just like this sniveling, shitty guy. You know.
So it's unclear to me right now. Like I can't remember when his parents disappeared, but it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Do you think? I mean, just the way the Empire got in power, it was very convincing that, hey, the Jedi is trying to take over. There's been galactic war for 3 years. Let's end this thing. Palpatine has done nothing but good things for everyone.
Yeah.
Do you think? I mean, I know Mon Mothma, and there are people who think, okay, like there's something else going on here. That's why there was this signature of 10,000 senators. They cut it out of the movie, but they got together and with Padme and Mon Mothma and other people, with someone else from the original trilogy, to try to get him to step down. It was cut out of the movie, but it was in the book. But they knew something was up. But do you think that the average person, like Ezra Bridger's parents, like less than 5 years after the Empire became an empire, do you think they'd be thinking, all right, we need to take this thing down? They would be that serious about it?
I mean, I suppose it depends on which systems were affected in which way.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. Some of these systems that are being... Are you talking about his parents?
Yeah, I mean, most books...
There's a lot of people that do it, and a lot of people that get... pumped up to fight tyranny where they see it, when ultimately it's not always.
But is tyranny
the
just
extreme,
a vague?
The extreme of tyranny that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
But ultimately, in this case, it was.
Yeah, no, it definitely was. But like, we talk about young people are always trying to have a fight. They're always trying to fight something.
Yeah.
I mean, and like certain political ideologies are always gearing up to fight a cause. And it's just, I'm wondering. Even though we know that, I mean, obviously we know the Empire's bad, but would most people or would anyone really think, oh, the Empire is bad at just a couple years in?
I don't know, because you would think that right at the beginning of the Empire it lasted 20 years, but the idea would be that in the beginning it's very beneficial. It's happening.
Yeah, a lot of planets benefited from that.
It happened in Nazi Germany.
Yeah.
Where that boost that the government, the Nazi regime gave the German economy.
Yeah, first the economy was going great.
They thought they were just going to be. Yeah, everything was back in business, baby. We're gonna, roll over the world, whatever. And, German power. But then, obviously it slacked everybody in the bar, and it didn't work out.
Yeah.
So
just
when they slapped the Russians.
Yeah.
Definitely didn't work out.
Yeah, they got past team of the Americans.
They really fucked that up.
That's a hell of a thing to team of the Americans.
Well, it's just for one. I mean, it's like what's his name? Norm Macdonald made a joke about his humor is really dry. We had a skit about it. But the other countries in the world you have a problem with, I think one would be Germany, because they started 2 world wars, and they didn't just start 2 world wars with some other countries. It was the whole world they fought.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like
a world war.
And it wasn't like it was the rest of the world said, okay, settle down. It's like it was actually close.
Yeah.
So the idea was that they actually had a lot of steam.
Yeah.
To do what they did, but a smaller country like that compared to the United States or Russia, that had a lot more natural resources, especially in a time when that really mattered. Yeah. In terms of warfare, they fucked up.
No, they definitely
fucked up bad. Anyway.
Anyways, just interesting conversations. I mean, I know George had, he had some vague ideas of like, when he made this, paralleling it to real world politics, but he also wanted to.
Well, it's like stormtroopers.
Simplify.
That's literally borrowed from Nazi Germany.
Yeah, stormtroopers.
Yeah, so. It's obviously fiction is what do you want to say? It's an expression of reality.
No, it definitely is. So, I mean, when you look at just episode 4, it's so goofier than like everything else. Yeah, I mean, like
I don't know. Episode 4, I went back and watched it, and episode 5 together, and those movies actually just coincide so well together. And episode 6 rolls around.
I meant like 4, like
jive that well.
I'm talking about like the stormtroopers. Like I've watched this military guy break it down. Like 5 and 6, they're lined up. They're like in 4, they look like a bunch of guys running around a hallway.
Loose.
Yeah, they're loose with
formations.
Yeah, and it's just like he said, this is not what like like that type of military would be. Like the Nazis, they were strict. They were this, they were that, and
Germany had a very strong and long military heritage.
Yeah.
That developed into that. With
Yeah.
the Wehrmacht and everything else. And the stormtroopers, I mean, that's what we always argued. Like, the clone troopers would have been better. They had their shit together.
Yeah.
And the stormtroopers were a bunch of loose-ass fucking assholes that can't hit anything.
Yeah.
And so the movies aren't a good example, except in 5, of them accomplishing a damn thing.
Yeah.
4 and 6, they don't do shit. They just get shot.
4, the stuff I love about 4 is actually nothing to do with... I know you love Tarkin, but I love like all the stuff on Tatooine and the Jawas. And...
That movie, like, I went back and rewatched it. There's
Maybe like you just rewatched it like once. like I watch it like 10 times a year.
That's fine, but to me, it's like I'm not going to obsess over it. Like I'll go back and watch it every once in a while. Mm-hmm. And to me, like, as a movie to just sit down and watch is, let's compare myself to an average viewer, more or less, in that respect. When I watched it when I was younger, I wasn't crazy about it because the action wasn't there.
I felt the same way about 4, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then now, I went back and rewatched it, and it actually is kind of just a magical movie.
It's the one I can, like, fall asleep to, and...
Well, it's just a movie I can sit down and just enjoy into the performances, you know.
Yeah.
And, Alec Guinness and, Peter Cushing.
Yeah, and I love, like, calling, Laser Brain. Like, I love all that stuff.
Yeah,
like, Walking Carpet. Like,
it was enjoyable. And... Vader wasn't as menacing in that one. He was definitely much more.
And his mask isn't symmetrical.
Yeah, it's not just that, but it's like he's very energetic with how he talks.
Yeah.
Bury the passengers. I want them alive.
Yeah.
He's kind of spastic.
Yeah.
And then you get into episode 5.
Yeah, James Ward, his performance went up like 10 notches.
Yeah, it's a lot more like deliberate.
And slow.
Because there were some deliberate moments in episode 4, but for instance, when they're in the conference room talking to those other moths.
Yeah.
He's like, I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Yeah.
And like just slow moments like that, but his episode 5 really brought it out of that character. Yeah. And he's just his dealing with the other admirals.
Yeah.
And everything, just how that opens.
Well, I love his just contention for the non-fighters.
Yeah, as clumsy as he is stupid.
Yeah, like
what was that admiral's name?
Admiral Azoting came too close to the system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rebels are alert to our presence. It's just
he's so calm and menacing.
But it's like this annoyed feeling to his voice.
Well, it's like when you're talking to your kid and you talk like this. Like that's almost like he was like annoyed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he had.
I was picking up. Yeah.
So it's funny, like I imagine because of just watching it a million times, we fill in the nuanced too. You know what I mean? Like in our own minds. You know what I mean? But that's fine. That's fine.
And then we were introduced to Boba Fett and everything. We had that whole scene with the bounty hunters. Like because it brings it a different angle. Like you're dealing with the Empire. Everything is black and white in the first movie. Yeah. Well, episode 4. And then episode 5 comes around. They're bringing these bounty hunters, and there's a little more color to it.
Yeah, like, we don't need the scum.
Yeah,
what's he say?
We don't need the scum. And the boss just
the idea that like Vader goes outside the system
to get the job.
Yeah, because he had experience fighting these guys and everything else. And he knows how they work. He knows they're effective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really cool though because you add that different angle to the whole story. And
works
really well. Like everything with Bespin. Like I never loved Bespin as a kid. Fucking hated it. This goddamn Cloud City. I don't care about this. The little orange cars. Driving around. They're fucking dumb looking.
I liked it. The color. Like I thought it was pretty.
I didn't like it when I was a kid, but I do know now. I do like it. I like the setup. I like the confrontation. I like what it does for the story.
Yeah.
Lando and like. It just I don't know the whole setting because it's just when they're fighting in these hallways on Bespin, it's this nice bright sunshiny setting.
Yeah.
Compared to everything else.
Yeah.
But it works really well.
But when they go underneath too,
they get
some of the guts of Cloud City is really
cool. Luke are fighting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's different. I mean, let's talk about when they're having the blaster fight.
Yeah.
The firefight with Boba and everybody else. When they're taking Han out of there.
I loved the bounty hunter arc in the Clone Wars where they all had to team up and they're trying to capture Palpatine. That was such a cool freaking arc.
Mm-hmm.
And all of them just doing their fucking thing, and they all had to do the then they all had to compete too.
Yeah, there was a thing.
I know the clone troopers had to do that.
Dooku made them go through that whole gamut.
Yeah, that fucking thing. Imagine the Sith Lord creates this fucking thing. You know what I mean?
Maybe if we take them through here this time.
Yeah.
And it's just sitting there, just joyfully, just pinning through I don't know.
I remember they were concerned because Obi-Wan. Remember fucking Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan infiltrated them, yeah.
Well, he pretended like he was dead, and Anakin thought he was dead.
Yeah.
And Anakin was fucking turning the dark side, choking people in bars, trying to find Obi-Wan's killer.
Yeah.
And then he found out, so I didn't tell you, and the Jedi didn't want me to tell you, and they all lied to you, and I lied to you. Sorry. You know?
Just add fuel to the fire.
Yeah, yeah. Anyways, okay. Well, when we talk about more than the episode, usually means it's a good episode. at least a good conversation. Anyways, guys, that's it. See you next week. If not, check us out on Patreon. We have 4 episodes on there now. Bye-bye.